Hi guys, so welcome to another review video, and today shall be reviewing the HP ELITEBOOK 840G7, and I have with me the i5 version right here. So this is how it looks like just from far view. And just before we start the review of this machine, I have a simple request for you guys. If this is the first time you're tuning into this account, please don't forget to leave a like on this video and don't forget to subscribe to this account, because I want to assure you that on this account you'll find all the latest reviews of all the tech gadgets, be it laptops, be it mobile phones, be it televisions, or something else that maybe at some point in future you want to buy. And as usual, before buying, you want to know more about it. And now, with us today, we have a very great masterpiece here from HP. This is the HP ELITEBOOK 840G7. In most of the cases, people normally get confused, especially in getting the models of the HP ELITEBOOks series, because we have HP ELITEBOOK 820, we have HP ELITEBOOK 840, we have 850, then again we have the 1000 series, we have the 1030, 1020, 1040. So it's a bit confusing if you're new to maybe the way HP normally labels their brands. So just to clear things up, if you see anywhere written like 820, the 2 stands for the screen size inch. So 820 means that laptop is 12.5 inch, and if you see 830, it means it's 13.3 inch. If you see 840, the 4 means it's 14 inch. If you see 850, the 5 means it's 15 inch. So that's around 15.6 inch, and that's how you normally separate the inches. They have different categories. We have 1000 series, we have 800 series, there's 700 series. 700 series are normally HP ELITEBOOks, or maybe specifically ELITEBOOks that have AMD Radeon processors. Yeah, the 700 series. But for the 800 series, they have the Intel i processors, Core i5, Core i7. So if you find one that is, assume let's say HP ELITEBOOK 840G3, that means it's 14 inch. The G3 stands for the processor generation. For example, 840G3, it's 6th gen. I know I've talked too much, and maybe you want to know more about this HP ELITEBOOK 840G7 that I'm carrying. First and foremost, we have the body design here. It's 14 inch, as I said earlier. It looks a bit big because it's 14 inch, and maybe make something that are around 13 inch. But what I love about this is we have aluminum casing that is very, very stable, compact, and then the design is so stylish. You see here we have the new HP logo over there. I hope it's visible from there, the new HP logo. We have aluminum casing that makes the casing so strong, and then it's scratch proof. That means even if something soft scratches on the cover of this machine, you won't see the scratches all over the screen. Then finally, as I said, it's made of aluminum. What I love about aluminum casing materials is that they make the machine so sturdy, so strong, yeah, very, very strong, but at the same time very light. This machine weighs about 2.2 pounds, that is about 1.5 kilograms. It's not that heavy, yeah, it's a bit light. Now, have a look at the finishing. We have these sharp edges here. There's that bend they've introduced at this point so as to make it like it's something, it looks as if it's slimming, yeah. And then here at the edge we have, I don't know if it's clear, it's visible, you can see there is a certain angle here. So what this angle helps is that it helps you to lift up the lid easily, like this now if you're opening the lid. So that is it. Now, as usual, let's have a look at the ports before we get to see what we have on the interior of this machine. So first thing first, on the right hand side, you can see here we have, this is the charging port. This is the HP blue pin charger. It normally goes in through this point here, and then we have HDMI slot here. This is the HDMI 2.1 slot here that supports 4K. Then you have 2 USB-C ports over there. These are 2 USB-C ports. Then here we have a micro SIM card slot right over here. So it means it supports SIM card, but for SIM card capabilities, it's something optional. You have to get the SIM card module, the LG LTE 4G module on the motherboard, so that you can be able to insert a SIM card on this slot to enable the functionalities. But without that, it won't work. So we have that slot here. It's usually optional. It's not available on all the HP ELITEBOOK 840G7 series. Yeah, so just to elaborate more on the ports that we have on the side, we realize we have two USB ports, two USB-C ports, Type-C ports, and one of them has that icon for Thunder. Actually, it's placed at the center, so it means these two ports, they have the capability. They are Thunderbolt charging ports. You can use these ports for data, that is for data transfer at very high speeds, 5 GB per second. Then you can also use these ports as display ports. You can use them as display ports to some other external displays instead of the HDMI slot. You can also use the first port, this one, to charge the laptop. So that means if you don't have the traditional USB blue pin, the blue pin charger, sorry, HP blue pin charger, this one, if you don't have it, you can use your Type-C charger, but just ensure it's 19 volts Type-C charger. Then on the left hand side, we have two USB Type-A ports over here. This is the Kingston lock. This one that you see over there, that's the Kingston lock. Then here we have audio jack combo slot right over there. I hope you can see it's visible. Then here we have smart card reader. I normally say this is one of the most useless slots I've ever seen on machines, because I really wonder why they still make these slots. And up to this point, it's around 10 years I've been using laptops, I've been reviewing most of them. I've never come across that smart card that usually goes through this slot. So I don't understand why they still manufacture it. Maybe it's for specific companies. We'll know it someday. But let me know in the comment section if you've ever used this slot over here. Let me know in the comment section, because personally, I've never used it. Yeah. So you realize in terms of ports, we don't have the standard side smart card reader slot on this machine. So if maybe you have to use that card on this machine, you'll have to get adapter or converter of the smart card reader to USB slots onto this machine, and that might be so disadvantageous for the content creators, but it's not that disadvantageous, because getting the converter is somewhat cheaper. If in my country of origin, right here in Kenya, that converter is around $1.5. Yeah, that is around 200 shillings, a bit cheap. So it's something that you can compromise on, because you're getting yourself a very powerful machine right over there. Then on this side of the edge, we have the HP ELITEBOOK. You see, yeah, you can see we have the ELITEBOOK logo over there. Now let's flip it this so that I see. I think, what do you realize with the screen, the edge of the screen? The tilting capability of the screen. So to some people it might be disadvantageous, to some people it's advantageous. I don't understand why they decided to make the screen to tilt to almost 120 degrees, not 180 degrees. I don't understand why, but some of you, if maybe you have a better reason for this, let us know in the comment section, because personally I love it when we have 180 degrees of this tilting of the screen size. Yeah, so that is how the screen tilts. Yeah, around 170 degrees. Then on the screen side, this is what we have. Have a look at the keyboard from far. We have these ventilations here for speakers. Yeah, the speaker are designed by Bang & Olufsen. You can see here we have Bang & Olufsen, the designer of the sound quality on this HP ELITEBOOK. We have the ventilation slots for speakers right on this side, another on this side. Yeah, this is the trackpad keyboard. I'll talk more about that later. This is the hinge. And then one thing I love about this HP ELITEBOOK 840G7 is the hinge. We have a very strong hinge here. You see, the support point is at the center. So it means this hinge is also strong and durable. And actually, it's very, very rare. It's like 99% will you ever come across such a laptop, especially this 840G7 with a damaged hinge. Yeah, because there are some of these machines that the hinges normally just get spoiled so easily, but on this one the hinge is so strong. Yeah, strong. Even if you place at this point, it sticks to that point, and again there's no easy breakage at the hinges. Now, before you get to see the screen and the rest, I was just forgetting to show on what we have underneath this machine. The crucial things beneath almost all laptops that we normally assume. And on this one, just have a look at underneath it. We have those sharp edges by design. That is something that HP, maybe they've changed the design compared to the previous generations. If you look at the HP ELITEBOOK 840G7, you'll see it has these edges are not that sharp as what we have here. So maybe it's something that they improved by design. I'm still trying to find out why they decided to reshape it like that. Yeah, but here we have the ventilation slot. This is specifically for air inflow into the machine, and then right under here we have the exhaust of air. It's not visible, but when it's on like this, there are some slots. I don't know here. You can see those ventilations right over there. Those are for air outflow out of the machine. Then you can see we have one of these edge and this. So it means we have two fans. It's dual fan for cooling. So the cooling is very proper on this one. And then we have these two rubbers. Those rubbers are for two functions. One of the main function is to have proper grip on the table so that it doesn't slide off the table easily. And another function of those rubbers is, you can see they're elevated to some point. They have like a certain height so that when you place the laptop on a flat surface, that height creates room for airflow underneath the machine for sufficient airflow into the laptop and out of the laptop so that it doesn't overheat when you're working with it. Now, let's talk about the screen. And from the just far view of it, you can see we have very thin bezels. On this machine, we have a screen to body ratio of around 86%, which is good. The bezels are so thin. It has been improved from the previous versions. You can see very thin bezels. It's almost becoming frameless. Yeah. So it's only the lower bezel that is a bit thick, and you can see that new HP logo over there, still on the bezel, this logo here. We have a full HD screen here. Full HD means it's 1080 resolution, so expect to have a good screen with very good resolution. And then it has what you call anti-reflection capabilities. So it means if you're using the screen on a place where maybe you have excess light, you see here you can see there's that white light. Let me just try to bring it to the picture. Yeah, somewhere there you can see we have that light. This is too much because the light that I'm using on the room for recording this video. But under normal circumstances, let's say you're using this laptop in an outdoor environment, then you'll be getting some maybe light reflections all over. But this screen has the capability to absorb the light so that they don't reflect on your screen. Then you have a screen brightness levels of 300 nits. That means it's very bright, and if you're using it outdoor again under maximum brightness, then you'll still be able to see what's on the screen of this machine. That's why we have high brightness levels on this machine. Remember I said it's 1080 full HD screen, so it means if you're doing things like video editing, photo editing on this panel, then you'll get to see the colors as clear or as sharp as you'll want them to be. Actually, you'll enjoy working on this display because it's very sharp. The colors concentration is very conk. It may not be the best, but for entry level, or for, let's just say, for not the best and not the worst, but just in the middle. If you're maybe you're into content creation, you're somewhere in the middle, then be assured that this machine is just what you need. So having talked about that, let's now talk about the security features of this machine, because if you're getting any other machine, you have to be very keen on the security features. Yeah. So first and foremost, we have physical shutter on top here. This is the physical shutter for the camera. So let me just zoom it a bit closer. Yeah, we have the shutter here for the camera. So it means you won't have to place sellotapes here to cover the camera. And then on this top side, you can see here we have there's one. You can see here is let me just bring it closer. You can see we have the camera here, and it's so interesting that despite that camera again, we have what you call Windows Hello feature just integrated into the camera. So it means you can sign in onto this machine using the Windows LA feature. Just scan your face and then you scan in. You have the camera places shutter there. Another security feature we have is the fingerprint reader or scanner right here. Very, very efficient and reliable. And then there's some other security features on the BIOS that we might not be able to see them physically, but it has something that we call HP Sure Start and Biosphere. So Sure Start is what helps if the laptop is booting up, it ensures that it checks the Windows operating system for any penetration by antivirus or malwares, so that you have a clean start to the machine when it's booting. Then Biosphere is what protects the BIOS of this machine from attack against, let's say, those ransomware and also viruses, maybe when we're using the machine online. So you have the Biosphere to protect the BIOS, or in programming we call it the backend level of the laptop. So now, having talked about that, now let's talk about the sound qualities. As said earlier, we have Bang & Olufsen speakers, and I'm not going to do a sound test on this one, but I'll give you a rating because I know you normally trust my reviews. So for ratings on a scale of 0 to 10, I'll give it around 8.5. So you have very good sound quality speakers here for entertainment purposes, or let's say maybe you're editing a video and you want to get to hear the voices or the sounds clearly, so that you get to cut out those noisy parts. Be assured that you have very good speakers here. It might not be the best, but 8.5 is not that bad. It's closer to the best. Then now, finally, the internal specs of this machine, because I know that is so important, and that is one of the three main features that you normally check on when you're buying a laptop. Remember, the three main features are usually the battery, then the body design of the machine, and then the performance of the machine. These will lead or will be dictated by what you're going to do with the laptop. So let's get to see the properties of what you have here. Remember, it's Core i5 10th gen from the sticker you have over there. It's Core i5 10th gen, and there's some features I just have to zoom in so that you see them. Let me just zoom in. Now, as usual for system properties, normally you use Control Shift Escape, then you get to the task manager. Now the task manager come to the performance tab right over there. Remember, we're running Windows 11 Pro on this specific machine, so come to the performance tab. Let me just, I forgot to say the screen we have here, it's touch screen. Yeah? It's the modern day touch screen design on laptop. We don't have that glass panel, so that makes the laptop lighter compared to those models that have glass panels. So this is a bit lighter because it's touch and you don't have that glass panel there. So let me just magnify this so that you get to see these functions clearly. Yes, so we get to the performance tab right over there. On the performance tab for the CPU, you can see here we have the CPU property. Okay, here so you can see here we have the CPU. It's Core i5 10th gen 103U CPU at 1.7 gigahertz. So the base speed is what we have over here. We have a base speed of 2.12 gigahertz. We have 4 cores and 8 logical processors, which is quite good if you're doing things that require multitasking, or things like rendering. Then the higher the number of cores, the faster the rendering speed will be. So we have 4 cores here and 8 logical processors. Then for the memory, we have 16 GB of RAM, you can see over there. And here, I want you to be keen here. You can see the speed of the memory is 26 hertz, you can see there, MTS. And then we have what you call form factor. So this form factor is what guides you on a machine, maybe for you to know if you can upgrade the RAM or you can't upgrade the RAM. So here we have form factor of sodium. So it means we can upgrade the RAM on this machine. They're physical RAMs. And you can see the number of slots used, it's 1 out of 2. So it means we have a single slot on this machine that can add another RAM. So currently we have 16 GB of RAM, but you can be able to upgrade it from 16 to 32 GB because you can add another 16 GB of RAM here. So that is advantageous if you're doing editing, maybe let's say entry-level gaming, upgrading the RAM means you'll be having seamless workflow or smooth gameplays. Then for the disk here, we have an SSD here of Hynix, you can see there. Then for the size of the SSD, you can see we have the capacity is 477, that is 512 GB SSD. Now, as I said earlier, the type of SSD here we have is SSD, an NVMe type. Then we have the GPU. Now this is so interesting and so important. We have Intel Ultra HD graphics, a dedicated graphic card right there, Intel Ultra HD, and it has dedicated graphic of 8 GB. So this size increases with the amount of RAM. If you improve the amount of RAM, then you'll have higher amount of integrated GPU. So with this GPU, you can do light you can game with this machine, but entry-level games, or even if you play the high-end games, you'll have to change them to low settings so that you can play those games on this machine. Then remember, we have something that is not visible here. This laptop supports Bluetooth 5.1, and then it also has Wi-Fi 6 adapter. With the Wi-Fi 6 adapter, it means internet connectivity. It's very fast, and you can access internet packages with the highest speed levels, because the Wi-Fi 6 adapter is very much compatible with those high speed levels of internet and high speeds level of Bluetooth capability without lagging. Then now, finally, let's have a look at the keyboard, because now we have a very good or close angle of the keyboard, and from far you can see how the keys are designed, the chisel like, yeah, and then the travel distance is just quite okay, as you'll want for a keyboard. It's not the best as what we have on the level of ThinkPads, but you can see the travel distance is just quite okay. And the keyboard is backlit, you can see the backlit. Having backlit keyboards helps you if you're maybe using a laptop in conference rooms that do not have lightings, you can still type, or you can type your things in dark. If you're a programmer, then you know the advantages of having a laptop that has backlit keyboard, and that is normally indicated by this icon you see here. For this, we have the backlit icon over there. You can see that is the backlit icon, and if you click on it, you can see the brightness levels reducing. Now it's off. Now you have the backlight, you can see. Yeah. Then for the trackpad, this is how the trackpad is. It's made of glass surface. What I love about glass pads being of glass surface is that they don't now easily get worn out. You realize those trackpads that have plastic surfaces, if you use it for a long time, then you see something like a caging or a hole on this center point. But having it glass, it means you can use it for many years without seeing any form of wearing out at this point. We have these two clippers, very important. Then again, what I love about this trackpad is that it supports the what we call single hand multi-gestures. One of them is that you can zoom on the screen just with the use of your 2 fingers. You can use them to zoom on the screen. Then you can use your 3 fingers to slide on the screen, instead of having to right click and then now you drag on the screen. You'll just use your 3 fingers like this, and then to slide up and down on the screen. Sorry, your 2 fingers to slide the screen. Yeah, 2 for sliding, and then 3 for changing desktops. You can see 3 is for changing desktop. You can see what's happening on the screen. Now, that is all we had about this HP ELITEBOOK 840G7. I hope you loved the review. Let's meet again on another review. See you next time. Remember to subscribe to this account, and don't forget to leave a like on this video. Let me know in the comment section what you think about HP ELITEBOOK 840G7.